It's a real honor to be here. Thank you. It's my first time in India. I'm really excited. It's such a wonderful country, wonderful people, amazing food. So I'm really excited, and it's such a great forum. There are so many issues we need to discuss through, and we need to do it together. Let's look at some figures. When I prepared for this presentation, I don't know why, I wanted just to check, how the total ad spend is in 2025. And I was actually quite surprised by the figure. Maybe you were not, but it is expected that total global ad spend will reach $1.16 trillion this year. And when we look at where the biggest share is, we see that 72.7% are digital. So it's digital ad spend as a percentage of the total ad spend. Now, digital ad spend has more than doubled since 2019. We all know the pandemic really helped accelerate. So digital advertising is important. The topics of today were about digital advertising and influencer marketing. But it's, of course, not the only media. The others are really important too. 73% of internet users actually still regularly discover new brands and products through the traditional use of some of the media like TV, print, and radio. Advertising now accounts for roughly 1% of global GDP. So I think that's really big. I think it was said twice in two different sessions today, with big power comes big responsibility. And there are so many issues we have in the world today. There were always issues, health issues, obesity. We had the pandemic, and another pandemic will be coming eventually, right? So these things are happening. We have inequalities. The climate crisis is a really urgent one. And then all the data issues and AI. So we need to address them. We want to address them, and we need to do it together. So who is we? You heard already a bit about ICAS. We are a global network that promotes responsible advertising through the effective implementation of self-regulatory standards. On this map, you can see our members. So as ASCI in India, we have members all around the world. It are bodies that deal with advertising, try to make sure they are as responsible as possible. But we also have other associations in our membership that are all really keen to make sure advertising remains responsible and trusted, such as the World Federation of Advertisers, you might know them, also Voxcom, the global voice of the agencies, EPC, the European Publishers Council, and more. And we all really care about responsibility, trust, and effective self-regulation. So to prepare for this speech, I asked actually our members to share information with me. I wanted to know, what are the key issues in your country? What are now really, at this moment, the top sensitive issues? And you see, of course, we don't cover all the countries, but we cover really key markets. And here you see the key issues. So number one is HFSS food advertising. So food high in fat, salt, and sugar in 85% of the markets we asked. So it's an issue that is an important one. And the next is an environmental and sustainability claim. So you see societal issues are on top. Gambling advertising, also really important. And then we have quite a few of the digital issues: influencer marketing, digital services, AI, also alcohol advertising, advertising to children, cryptocurrency, and transparency and disclosures. And all these issues, these top 10, are at least in 50% of the markets or more. The regulators are addressing it, and with that I mean now the statutory regulators. If you want to have a look at the details, I am happy to share my slides. But let's look now at kind of the key issues, and I will, of course, repeat a few things that were said. I mean, the panels were excellent. Many of the topics were already mentioned. So please bear with me as I might repeat myself. I'm not myself, but repeat what has been said. So there are challenges, and many of the challenges have been there, not necessarily new, but they are supercharged by AI, but also, one of the things that is really important and really affects advertising is polarization and geopolitical shifts. And I think you all know what I mean. A lot is happening now, and it does affect advertising and brands and all of us. So I highlighted on this slide 3 things. So advertising always evolves, of course, and finds new way to reach consumers. And there are new players, of course, through that. We talked about the influencers and the virtual influencers, but AI makes it all more complex, right? And technology makes it that we'll more and more find it hard, or actually, so it's impossible sometimes to say the difference between what is real and what is not real. Then there are other issues such as deepfakes, and then the sheer volume of ads, the speed of the technology, the variety of ad formats. So all this creates issues of scalability and adds a lot of complexity. Then another topic that was mentioned is privacy and data protection, really important. And regulators are very concerned about it. So if you see what the FTC is looking into, or the European Commission, it are these issues. And I think the FTC calls it commercial surveillance ecosystem. So they're very concerned, and they will be definitely keeping an eye on what's happening. There will be research done, and we'll see then what the outcome will be. The last point I want to mention is diversity, equity, and inclusion, and ESG efforts, because increasingly brands have tried to be responsible, tried to be progressive, but a lot of pushback has happened. I mean, initially it were cases such as the Bud Light case, if you know, in the US, many others have happened. But now also from the political side, you see a real pushback against these issues. And you know that, for example, Trump, he declared 2 sexes the official sexes, and he scrapped all DEI policies. Quite a few brands have followed suit and stopped their DEI efforts. Others are continuing. So what is happening is now that brands need to really navigate divisive audiences and all these issues. So a lot of problems, but of course we believe that advertising self-regulation has a superpower and can really help be part of the solution with the support of the regulators and of course the support of the whole industry. Otherwise we can't manage. So we really need everyone on board. And self-regulation, I mean, we heard it today, has really a lot of advantages. We heard that there is also need to have maybe global codes, and for brands it would be easy, but many things are local, right? We talked about even India, how diverse it is, and you have all these different languages. So self-regulation needs to stay also, locally embedded, be consumer focused. So SROs do a lot of this to understand the local consumers. They listen to the people, they conduct consumer research, they really can understand the market dynamics and address the issues in the local language. They also have strong industry and regulatory connections. Look at ASCII, look at this room. A lot of people are here that really support. SROs can really convene people to find common solution. SROs are agile, adaptive, they quickly update codes, processes as needed. They're really experienced in handling complex and diverging positions. And another thing we heard, one thing that's really important is that they adapt really quickly to new challenges, and they use increasingly AI and advanced technology to monitor ads. And one great thing about the self-regulatory network is that they are interconnected, often regionally, but also globally, for example, through ICAS. And they exchange information also on tools, on services and best practice. So you have the combination of the locally embedded but globally connected. These are the issues SROs are working on. But I just want to take a minute to talk about what we do at ICAS to support our members and to drive global best practice, to achieve kind of these high global standards that all unite us. So ICAS is a forum for exchanging information and best practice. So we collect and share information. So linking really the local with the global. And we recognize excellence with the ICAS Awards. So we had yesterday our awards, and you can check on our website the winners. We also developed global guidance and roadmaps on key topics. So in 2022, we actually published the first. It was on environmental claims for global brands and the global agencies. We worked closely also with the ICC to update their code. And new guidance is upcoming on influencer marketing, and as well as a global roadmap on responsible marketing of HFSS foods and beverages. So there is global guidance that feeds into the local codes, and then vice versa. So there is this circle where we gather information, we learn from the national self-regulatory bodies, and we pour it into global guidance. And another thing we do is we, of course, exchange information and collaborate with intergovernmental bodies such as the OECD, for example, on dark patterns, with UN bodies, UNICEF and ISPEN, engage also with ISO, all really important connections. So as ICAS increases its capacity, we'll also try to do that more and more, because it's important that we really do things together. And we're also an active ally of the Stereotype Alliance of UN Women. We know that ASCI is also really active in this forum. Yeah, more needs to be done. So let's shape the future of advertising self-regulation together. And for that, we created actually a new forum, which is called the ICAS Global Think Tank. We launched this initiative in September 2024 in New York City. I think it's exactly 6 months ago that we kind of soft launched it. We are still in the process to set it up. This forum will be there to have really open and honest conversations. We just had one today. It will focus on collaborative engagement and research. We are currently focusing on responsible use of AI in advertising. Guy talked already a bit about, the issue of labeling. So all this will be looked into, and we'll publish think pieces very soon. So keep. We'll share that, of course, with you once it's there. Yeah, when the think tank grows, we'll, of course, address other issues. So the think tank will organize roundtables. I talked about the issues we'll be looking into. It will produce briefs, research papers, and all this will help shape developments of policies for companies, for the advertising industry, for SROs, for ICAS. So I'm sure this will be a really useful platform. And I hope, those that are not part of it yet, but would like to, you're really welcome to join us. If you want more information, please come to me, Manisha, Guy. We're all really happy to explain more what we do, and to welcome you in our network. So with that, I would like to thank you and wish you a wonderful evening.